All right, good morning. This is Victor Tehemba, and once again we are at Sky Memorial, Wuse Zone 5, taking the newspaper review right from the street. As you can see, a lot of discussions happening at the back. Mostly they were talking about the event that happened yesterday, the inauguration of the president for his second term. But we'll go on now to look at the newspapers and what they're saying and what the citizens are also saying. And then, but before we kick off, we would like to take I would like to take this is a comment from the citizen. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Your name?
My name is Matthew Abba.
Okay. We've seen from the headlines, and what is actually reappearing is that of the president's second term inauguration yesterday. And then you have Sun newspaper there that he didn't actually give a speech at his inauguration. We have high hopes for his second coming and all of that. What do you think?
My take on is that he has he's the number one citizen of the country, and he has his reasons for that anyway.
Okay.
After all, he said June 12th is Democracy Day.
Okay.
So who knows? Maybe he's going to give his speech that day and all that.
All right.
But we are still expecting.
So, from the news as well, the president is supposed to jet off to Saudi Arabia for OIC countries meeting. Do you have any take that he's actually been kind of sworn in yesterday, and today he's off to Saudi Arabia? What's your take?
That's why he's Mr. President. He's representing the interests of Nigeria. Okay. So if the meeting calls for him to be there, definitely, sure. Why wouldn't he go?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Abba. All right then, so we have to kick off today's review. Then we'll start from Vanguard and see what the Vanguard is saying. Inauguration, Buhari mom as governors reel out promises. Ishaku begs FG to release 22 billion naira spent on federal roads. Fintiri promises timely payment of salaries, pensions, gratuities. Bello gives corrupt civil servants red card in Niger. Abdulrazak pledges paradigm shift in Kwara. I will tackle insecurity within a year in Zamfara, Matawale. All of these stories are fully developed on page 5 of today's Vanguard. And the picture story there, that's of the various people being sworn in yesterday, the president, the vice president, from Delta State as well, and Abia. So good morning.
Good morning.
The name?
Yeah, how do you miss my name?
Okay, from the headlines, we see that one thing has been actually prevalent, and that is the issue of the event that happened yesterday. Yeah. What's your take on all of the events that happened as regards this?
Yes, every administration, every leader has his own style of leadership.
Yeah.
So if he has choose to just perform the ceremony the way he does, I think I don't have anything about it. But there's one important thing I want all of us to understand is that May 29 is a handing over or inauguration day.
Yeah.
So we have chosen to mark it as an democracy day.
Yes.
for the past 1999.
Yes.
But because of an event that happened during Abiola's period, we choose that this president decided that he's going to immortalize him and use June 12th to do the ceremony of Democracy Day. I think it is a very good option. If, for instance, yesterday he didn't give any speech. I know why he didn't give that speech. To my own opinion, is like he's expecting that he cannot give a speech on the handing over day and also give another speech on the Democracy Day, which is now going to be, if by the passage of National Assembly as a Democracy Day, June 12th will be a Democracy Day. But a handing over day can still be May 29. But when you hand over, the real mantle of leadership could be the Democracy Day, because there is an event that actually happened on June 12th, which every of us make it, yes. Yeah. So, but in May 29, it was just a day that people just sit down and just decide that today we're going to hand over and all that. So there is nothing significant about May 29. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. And we will move on to the Punch. Screaming headline: FG's social safety program gobs 471 billion naira in 3 years. And that story is on page 27. Buhari's inauguration, just below the picture story there, Buhari's inauguration, others knock president for keeping mum. Obasanjo, Jonathan absent, and that is on page 2. And just below that, you have Unizik scandal. Senate members have messed up, says Pro-Chancellor. And that story is on pages 4 and 5 of today's Punch. Lagos businessman's decomposing corpse found inside Magodo residence. Sad, and that story is also on pages 4 and 5. Plane conveying Obasanjo, order experiences bad weather, lands at second attempt, and that story is on page 41. Above the masthead, there you have NYC to include date of birth on certificates. Yeah, that's a new policy from them, and that story is on page 12. We will make painful decisions, every ones, and that is on page 8 of today's Punch. FG liable for rising insecurity. Emir Afenifere Ohaneze tell Buhari. And from the Europa League final yesterday, Chelsea thumped Arsenal 4-1 to win Europa League. That full story is on page 47. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
The name?
I'm Zabs Dauda Al-Khali.
Okay, sir. You looked at the headlines from today, all about the president's inauguration and all of that. What's your take? What do you have to say about all that transpired yesterday?
Of course, the inauguration. All what I'm moving after is the absence of the past presidents. So people were like complaining that they are supposed to be there. Yeah. But to me, I don't look at it as a must. You understand? They are human. It's something that maybe they have other commitment that is better than that one for them. Other people were saying that maybe they don't like the president coming back. But to me, I don't look at it that way. Maybe they have something that is more important for them. That's why they are not there.
And we'll move on to Daily Trust. We'll look at what Daily Trust has for today. High expectations as Buhari begins second term. President off to Saudi Arabia, absent at inaugural dinner. Bauchi Gombe governors cancel last-minute appointments, and that story is continued on page 5 of today's Daily Trust. Just below the masthead, you have no country is fighting graft like Nigeria. That is from the ex-EFCC chair, Ribadu. Trade disputes impacting air travels. That is from IATA, and that story is on page 17. And I think that is all that this Daily Trust has for us. So we'll move on to The Sun, the Daily Sun, and look at their captivating or their major headline there.
In fact, good morning. Yeah, my brother, what I can see as of yesterday, swearing of our president, I think President Obasanjo is supposed to be there. President Goodluck Jonathan is supposed to be there. Then all those ex-presidents will be there, but there was no one they have funded. But yeah, it's only Yakubu Gowon was there. But it's not supposed to be in that way. Because all those past presidents, we have to, at least, they were not very happy over it. And again, about the June 12th, I think we all speak on it. And we are not very happy that changing the date or whatever. But we know that, yes, actually, one day can be more better than that. So, and moreover, and what we see on the expectation on the swearing in of 39 governors. 29 governors. Well, that one is okay. By our president taking the oaths without even the consent of others, but it's not an idea. Then I think that is what we're expecting on we focus on.
The Sun, Buhari stuns all with no speech inauguration, takes oath of office without usual acceptance speech. President expected to speak on June 12th. He, APC, overburdened by guilt, says the PDP, and that story, all of it is contained on page 6 of today's Daily Sun. And beside the picture story there, you have Wike governors El-Rufai, Wike, Sanwo-Olu, Ihedioha, Okowa, others unveil agenda. All of these stories are contained on pages 3, 39, 41 to 44. Biafra tension in Southeast over sit-at-home order, and that story is on page 41. The picture story there is that of the president waving to the crowd at his inauguration yesterday, and that is the last paper for the day. We'd like to take just one more paper for the day, and that will be this day. This day happens to be the lucky paper for today. Muhammad Buhari sworn in for second term with high hopes. 29 governors take oath of office in low-key ceremonies. 91 world leaders to attend June 12th Democracy Day events. And all of those stories on today's this day. And then you have, just above the master, you have banks plan blacklist of chronic debtors to create black book, share details among financial institutions. And that story is continued on page 8. Trade wars disruptions drag oil price down to $69. Yeah, and full details of that is actually contained on page 8. All right, and we are going to take for our review for today, but we'll be back here tomorrow, Friday. But right now, we will head back to the studio of the Daybreak Africa show, and we'll meet up with the studio. Good morning, I am Victor Tehemba.